Okay, I think I figured it out. Yeah, all right, cool. I might have to move that window around because there's definitely some information in this game that's like all over the edges, but hey, whatever, we'll figure it out. Anyway, you are basically an agent of hell and you're going through like the different levels of hell, the different circles, I guess you would say. And you are trying to like burst through to the frozen heart of hell because it got frozen over by angels, basically, I guess. So you're like, you've got this pyre inside of your caboose, I guess, so to speak. And the whole plan is to like keep that alive, essentially. And you like cruise in and crush on into the frozen heart of hell, and like try to reignite it to like get rid of all the angels, essentially.
So it's like an Olympic flame kind of deal?
Yeah, essentially. Yeah, and it is very good at showing you this, so all will become clear pretty soon in terms of like the theming. So all right, let's just kind of get into it. You can save runs, thankfully, but like I've never actually had to like go back into a run because I usually like clear it out. They've got, nice little button here. This is the logbook, which is pretty interesting. It keeps track of like, it's like an encyclopedia of everything that's in the game. It shows you like what you've unlocked. After runs, you get like experience and stuff, and which unlocks like new cards into the possible pool. It also unlocks different clans, which I'll explain a little while longer, but in a little bit. But essentially, it also serves to unlock different play styles and cards and stuff like that.
Okay, so are the clans like deck colors or like?
Essentially,
okay.
it like basically determines what cards will be available in the run that you get from like random chance and stuff that you start with. Other cool stuff that it keeps track of. Well, you can see the individual cards. This is like your hero unit. Essentially, you always start with one of these and you upgrade it as you go. So I guess it's keeping track of all the different upgrades for those that you can possibly pick. These are all like the trinkets that you get in like a normal kind of like a roguelike thing. You pick up these things that give you like passives or anything like that. I've gotten I guess I've gotten all the neutral ones, but I have a way to go. I like just unlocked this new class, which maybe we'll play on the second run because I kind of have an idea of how they work, but like yeah, it's super new to me, and I guess it keeps track of like how all your buddies are doing. I'm not doing as well as everyone else. I'm not as good. So, but anyway, let's get into it. All right, you guys have a big decision coming up because you're gonna have to tell me what my primary and secondary class are going to be. And I'm actually gonna turn down the volume because this game is loud for some reason, like really loud. Okay, so we can pick from 4. We can pick from 5. I don't want to pick these guys though, because I'm not sure how they work.
Hang on, so Andrew, we just got a very key question in the chat, which is what is a basilisk?
So a basilisk is a kind of, well, I guess real basilisks exist. They're kind of like lizards. Like, I don't know. They are lizards, but I don't know. They're like the fictional ones. They're a lot more beastly than the real ones.
Yeah, they're like mythical beasts, right? Like.
Yeah.
Part chicken, part lizard, or something like that.
Yeah, essentially, and like sometimes they've got like that Medusa effect going on where they can turn you to stone and all that good stuff.
That's right. Yeah.
It's funny because like different basilisks are really different in different fictions as well. Like, I'm pretty sure that like the D&D basilisk looks radically different than a lot of them. So, but yeah. Anyway, good question though. So basically what we're looking at here is you get to pick your primary clan and your allied clan before going in, and that will determine like what cards you start with, what your hero unit, I guess, is. And also covenants, this is basically like an extra difficulty level, which I have not done this yet, but we're going to keep it at like default. which it's surprisingly like the default difficulty for this game is actually really not that bad. So it really encourages you to like unlock all the stuff relatively quickly, and it allows you to get into these covenants, I guess, which just make enemies stronger and all that stuff really quickly.
Okay, so Paul, do you have a preferred like default playstyle for these kind of games? Do you like to be just straightforward attacking, or how would you break down the kind of playstyles, Andrew, for different clans?
So these different clans, all right, they all have like different like keywords a lot of the times that they use. So I'll just go through some of these. So the Hellhorn, they're very offensively focused in terms of souping up like one unit essentially. And they do stuff with a concept called rage, which is like you get stacks of rage, and for each stack of rage you get like +2 damage or something like that. And then each round of combat, your rage goes down by 1, so it'll eventually wear off. But it's good for like a really quick kind of thing. This class usually has like really big units that have decent amount of health, but like they don't always have a lot of like special abilities other than rage. And this guy can get multi-strike too, which allows him to hit things multiple times. So units with multi-strike, whenever you buff them, they have like, you know, it increases their damage output by a lot more times than just once. So that's basically what they're all about. They also have like some armor gain stuff going on. There's a bunch of different things a lot of the classes can do, but these guys are mostly about like rage and armor and like really big heavy hitters. The Awoken are kind of like this nature themed dealio. They're really into they are really into like thorns, basically. Whenever they get hit, they'll do damage to other people. That's one of the things that they do. Okay. They also have some kind of like spells going on that are like these free spells. I think they're called like thorns or something like that. And they it's like a free spell that allows people to like do a little bit of damage, but also draw extra cards really quickly. I've played them a decent amount. They also have this other thing. I'm trying to remember what the keyword is. It's like growth or something like that. But like, whenever they get healed, they get stronger, like permanently. So you want to like heal them over and over again, and they're gonna get hit because you want them to get hit because they've got thorns and stuff like that. So you're kind of like healing them up, and they deal damage with thorns and all that good stuff. So, that's what these guys are all about. Stygian Guard, they are spellcasters. Like, first and foremost, they're all about spell damage and something called Incant, which is so this game is basically split up into, and you'll see this pretty soon, into like different rows, and you can place units in the different rows. And when you cast a spell, it is active in a certain row basically, and it can only target creatures in that row. So these guys have a cool ability that like buffs your spell damage when you're casting something in that specific row. And they also have something called Incant, which is it like buffs the units permanently whenever you cast a spell in that row, like any spell on anything. So you just want to like sling like a ton of spells with these dudes essentially. And I also I don't know if you guys can see this in the stream, but there's like a really interesting box here that is interrupting the particle effects. I don't know if you guys could see that, or if I can only see that on my screen. It's kind of funky.
Supposed to be getting away from game dev, Andrew. We're supposed to be able to see past this stuff.
I think I've like stared at this like tons of times, and like I really like the animation and all this stuff in this game. Like, it's really cool. Like the actual visual effects are cool, but like that's like the first thing that I saw that was like, oh, that's not quite right. But anyway, regardless. So spellcasters. So the Umbra, these guys are my personal favorites because they do some things that I've never really seen before. They basically, they're similar to the Hellhorn in which they really like buffing like singular large units, but they do so in a different way, and they have these things called morsels, which are tiny units that at the end of combat, they sacrifice themselves and buff whatever the front unit in the row is. So you like basically throw these dudes over and over and over again into the fray, and they will die, and they get consumed by the person in front, which gets stronger and stronger and stronger. That's very amusing, very different play style than all the other ones. That's like a personal favorite of mine. These last steeds, which I'm not 100% how they work, but they, man, they want their own units to die because when they come back, they get stronger, I believe.
Okay.
So it's a more like high risk, high reward style of gameplay. I haven't messed around with them too much. Well, at all, actually. I have zero experience with them. I've seen a friend play a little bit, but yeah, it's a little different. So also, I really like this fire effect here. And basically, allied clan, which is kind of like your secondary clan, you don't get the hero unit essentially, which you always get in your starting hand, so you at least have something to go with. But it also allows you to get like secondary units with this in the random rewards and stuff like that, and also like secondary spells and all that kind of stuff. So that is a lot of information about a lot of stuff that you guys have no context for. So I'm sure you guys will be able to make a good decision on.
I personally vote for something that you've never used before.
Oh geez. All right, here we go. That's not good.
Like that
this
one,
this is going to be bad. So whoops, it switched it off. Okay. I don't 100% know how these guys work, and so these guys, the units are like really transient, because they will like fizzle out after a couple of rounds. So the Umbra guys are really not good with them because they really rely on stuff to stay around for a while. So it's probably not the greatest. Gosh, I'm trying to figure out, because this is not a playstyle that I normally do. So I'm trying to figure out
what synergizes with these.
I'm not 100%
people who want to
sure. Well, if they want to die, goodness, I'm trying to think of. Maybe the spellcasters would be okay. Maybe because they don't like require units to be around. But also this guy's like, he's super fragile, like super fragile.
Yeah.
So he probably needs someone to defend him at a couple of times. You know, Awoken's got some weird stuff. I'm tempted to go with them, but Hellhorned is usually like a solid bet a lot of times. So let's just try that. I have no idea how this is gonna go. No promises.
We're still learning
here.
the mechanics, right? So we expected.
Yeah.
The first time around.
Oh yeah, definitely. All right, let's depart, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right. I will say though, the audio in this game is so loud. It's kind of hilarious how loud this game can get.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you start a run, it tells you what the final boss is gonna be.
Okay.
And so you can try to, I mean, you don't really have too much choice, but you can try to work around that essentially. So the fun thing is, thankfully we did not pick the spellcasting secondary one, because he will devour our spells, which basically means, and it'll tell you here, consume can only be played once per battle. So what it's going to do is every round, whenever you play a spell, during that final encounter at least, that card won't get shuffled back into your deck. It's gone, essentially, for the battle at least. So you will run out of spells with him eventually. There's ways to work around that, but we'll figure it out, shall we? All right, so some quick numbers here. I'm actually going to move something on the stream. Because it's really in the way. Oh no! Hold on. I've got... trying to figure out some stuff here. And there we go. You guys are going to have to be cut off slightly, but everyone knows who you are. It's all good.
No worries.
I might... yeah. No, that's fine for now. It looks all right. Whatever. This stream is so casual. It's fine. So at the beginning you get your champion and you get an artifact. So normally I would look at this first, but what I found is that figure out what your artifact is first can help you out. It's like it's something that gives you like a passive buff. So we're just gonna check it out first, and that can inform our choice a little bit. So this is really good for these guys because our guys will die very quickly. So whenever it dies, yeah, go for it.
When it says it enhances it, does that mean it goes back to your hand when it dies, and then when you play it next time, it's got higher stats? Or
it's weird. So I don't 100% know how these guys work, but I believe so when a unit dies, it doesn't go back into your hand. It doesn't go back into the deck. It's like units. There's not like tons of units in your decks. There's only a few. Usually there's only a few. And once those die during a level, you don't get to play them again during that level. They come back into your deck after the level is over. But it's like a one-shot deal. So generally, and this is why these guys are weird, because there's they get units back on occasion. And there's different spells and stuff like that that'll help you do that. So
it sounds like there's quite a lot of planning and the kind of state that goes across these 7. How many was it? 7 rounds in a run?
There's 8, and I'll show you the
8.
I could show you the map here. So this is Limbo. So every time there's like this icon, that means there's going to be a battle. So it gives you some cool like power-ups. Essentially, you do a battle, and then you go on to the next thing where you can choose one of 2 paths, and it allows you to either interact with this side or interact with this side. So it allows you to get either like, so for example, like after I do this, it'll allow me to upgrade my spells and get a new remnant unit, which the remnant is our primary class. Or I could go this side, or excuse me, steel is like units, characters rather. So I'll be able to upgrade my characters. Or on this side, I'll be able to upgrade my spells and get a new Hellhorned unit, which is the secondary clan. So anyway, you keep on going. You do that over and over and over again until you get to the very end right here. So that's where the boss is, and then that's our lovely frozen heart that we're trying to light up, basically.
Okay.
So, this is cool. I would normally pick this, but since I think we want to like lean into the mechanics of my primary class here, we're gonna grab that. So synergy. Up on the left hand here. Yeah, exactly. As much synergy as possible. So I'm just gonna go through this stuff real quick. That's our pyre health. If this goes to 0, we're done. Okay. The pyre can attack actually, and you'll see that as soon as I get into the battle. But
so is this like the face in Magic or Hearthstone? Like people
this is your face basically. Okay. And this is like, and I'll explain this once we actually get into a battle. But this is also like your starting, like this is how that first icon with the fire is like how much mana you have every turn. 5 is how many cards you draw each turn, and the bottom one, that yellow kind of gem thing, is like how many units you can put in a single row, and units can cost like 1 or more of those yellow things essentially. Okay. So anyway, and then you can look at how much money you have, and then you can take a look at the deck. So I'm actually going to look at the deck because I have no idea what I'm working with here. So Rector Flicker here, this is our hero unit. He's got nothing, no special stuff because we did not upgrade him yet. These are the dregs, which I guess are the generic units that we get for starting off with this primary class. So you've got the cost up here. You've got how many spaces they take up in a row. You've got their attack and their health. And then you've got this thing, which is their special thing, is called burnout. So burnout goes down every turn, and when the burnout runs out, unit dies, and it's gone. So normally units don't have this effect. So this is so these torches are what you get when you have the Hellhorned as your secondary, which is just like a spell, costs 1, deals 2 damage to anything. Pretty cool, pretty standard, whatever. And no matter what you start with, you also get these 4 trained stewards, which are like generic kind of dudes.
Okay.
We are going to be looking to remove these dudes as fast as possible from our deck. Because something that I've noticed with this game is that the less cards you have, the faster you'll get to your better cards. So keeping this nice and trim can help you out in most circumstances, at least. All right, so we've got two choices for what we want to do with these guys. So this is scary because I don't know.
I'm seeing numbers 60 here. I don't know the context, but is that massive?
It's pretty big, especially for the very beginning of the game. The only thing that I'm concerned about is I don't know what happens when your main unit has burnout. Like, I don't know how you get things back in this game. So I'm going to go with this one, which is interesting. So this harvest happens whenever a unit on his floor dies, so he can get more health. Gosh, I have a feeling there is every time you go into this screen, there's actually 3 choices that you can get, and it only picks 2. I have a feeling that third one is probably better than these 2, at least for the beginning. But we're gonna go with this because in theory this is synergistic. So we're gonna do that, and that's it. We're ready to go to the first battle. Only took us like 15 minutes to get there. So, all right, sweet. So, during normal non-boss encounters, where boss encounters happen every 3 levels, I believe, it allows you to, read about what all these guys have. So you can hover over these people, and it lets you know kind of what the main units you're going to be looking at are. I don't know if it always gives you all of them, but I know it gives you like a few usually. So this is going to be like the quote mini boss that happens at the end of this entire encounter, which I'm not super concerned about this at this point.
So are the encounters like fairly pre-scripted, or you're not playing against an opponent with a deck, or is it?
And I will show you immediately as soon as we get in there, and you will figure it out very quickly. I don't know what I'm doing here, so I don't know if I want to turn this on. It's really nice though, because normally it doesn't give you a unit draft at first. It gives you like money usually on the first one. This seems really strong, but I don't want to like completely bottom out the first time we do that. Actually, you know what? Let's go. We're better than this. We can do this. The earlier rounds, a lot of these challenges are easier, but it basically gives you something interesting if you turn these on. Okay. All right, here we go. So this is our nice train. This is our caboose, I guess, so to speak. So units will spawn from the bottom floor. And if they are not killed by the end of the combat round, they will move up a floor. And then they'll move up a floor. And then they'll move up to your pyre. And then once they move up to the pyre, they're going to do round after round against each other until one of them dies, basically. So that's why your pyre has some health. So it's not like, oh, something reached your pyre, game's over. It is basically, so it'll take damage. So if something reaches the pyre, it's not like the end of the world. I'm actually going to maybe turn down my quality a little bit because I think I'm losing frames. It's all right. Whatever. Doesn't matter. And I actually can't tell that much of a difference in the quality, so I guess that's fine.
So Maleev just dropped in and she says, "Oh, it's a tower defense game."
Yeah, kind of. Basically, where you're trying to like destroy units before they get to your health bar. So, okay. So what I'm gonna do here is generally, most of the time, you want to put your special units up at the very last thing. Mm-hmm. So if they can get buffed by something eventually, like they'll get stronger before they get to the last kind of, I have a little bit of time to maybe buff him for a little bit. So I don't know exactly how these guys work, but
so hang on. So the effect on that guy triggers when a unit on the same floor as him gets killed. Is that right?
Yes, on the same floor as him. Yes.
Okay.
So
can you move these people?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
So there's no point. Okay, try to.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out these guys too. So here's the thing. Oh man. So enemy units attack before ally units. So this 3 health thing is very worrying for me.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So I'm trying to figure out what I want to do here. So what I'm tempted to do.
Maybe you just put them up the top, right? And let them
exactly.
die.
So hopefully he's just gonna die in 2 rounds, and that's what I'm really hoping that's what's gonna happen, so he can just get a little bit more health. So we're gonna experiment. I've also got 2 spells, so I'm just gonna get rid of this healer in the back. He's got 1 health, and I'm just gonna, you know, let's just throw that at you. Why not? Oh, I can do it twice. Hooray! Great. Excellent. All right. Oh, I have this on ultra speed. My bad. Okay. So combat resolves from your pyre down. So it resolves the stuff up here first, and then it goes down, and then it goes down, basically. I'm going to put this at normal speed. I had it on, like, ultra because, yeah, sometimes the animations can go real crazy for a while. Okay, so I'm thinking about how much damage it's going to take to get rid of this person. So they've got 21 health, and I do 10. This one's going to go, so I can't count on them. So I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to do 21 health before it reaches my pyre. So I need to do 11 more damage here. And it looks like I can if I just have these 2 up. But I have to let this one go first because I only have so much room necessarily. Alternatively, I could just put down a couple of units here to do some damage up front. But I do want to let them kind of die. So I'm going to split the difference a little bit. So I'm going to put him here. I'm going to put him here. And then I'm going to put him here. So that should do a decent amount of damage. This one will take damage, but he won't die. But that's okay because it's all right. It don't matter that much. At least like the first round is pretty quick. So these little dudes, they spawn at random times. And if you get them, they give you money. So that's a nice little random happy accident thing. So we're just going to use that to get rid of them. And then we'll go. So this will be much slower. So we got a harvest. And we got another harvest because he burned out, so that's cool. And that's it. And that moves up. And he moves up because there's no one there. So do you guys kind of understand how combat works? Like each unit gets 1 attack, basically, and enemy units go first.
So they move up, even if there's no... They don't have to stay and take out everyone on their floor to move up. They
That's
just move
correct.
Up.
Yep. They just kind of trade blows and keep on going.
Kind of like bases, right? If the base is empty, they can proceed. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's really close to like how tower defenses work because you can't move these guys. Well, okay, there are spells that allow you to move these guys, but like generally, it you know that once you put them there, they're there until they die. So, and sometimes you can use that to your advantage. So we're cool on this round.
So I have a question. So there's on the heart, there's 2 different numbers, right?
Yep.
Like if you...
Yeah, so that's the attack that it has. So this is essentially its own unit. So what happens is once a character gets up to here, the enemy character will attack first and then deal its damage here. And then the pyre will actually shoot a jet of flame and deal 20 damage. And then it keeps on doing that over and over again until either your pyre dies or the enemy unit dies.
You know what? I was asking something else, but I think
sorry.
I figured it out.
Okay.
Right. Like when you hover over the
We're talking about the one below, right? He's got 2 numbers,
okay.
7 and 25.
Yeah.
7 with left of 25. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, I also have this preview number up, which I think is like a toggleable option. I don't know why it's toggleable because it's super helpful. It lets me know like what the result of the battle is going to be, essentially. I don't know why this is optional. Like, it's super helpful. But, all right.
So we're not really worried about that enemy at the top because they're going to...
No. We know that he's going to do 6 damage to this dude, but we kind of want people to die because he gets more health. At some point, we're probably going to want to get rid of more of these dregs because I think they can come back. I don't know how they come back. I haven't figured that out. I don't know if that's like a specific spell that you get at some point, but yeah, it's interesting. These guys are like, I don't know. They're the last clan that you unlock, so they're a little bit more experimental. I'm just gonna place them up here. The reason why we don't have anything spawned right here is it gave us, quote, a brief respite, which means that a boss is gonna spawn the turn after. Okay. So it gives you like a round to kind of like collect yourself real quick. All right, so
yeah, Millie, the art style is cool on this. I like the.
yeah, it's fun.
really
is.
I really like this art style. It's cool. All right, I gotta maybe let's just get him in there, deal some damage up front, and then we'll go. All right, so no problem there. I got a harvest, one burnout. Did some decent damage there. Got a burnout there, unfortunately. All right, so we got the big boss now. So
It's a lot of health.
Okay.
I'm gonna take out this priest because that causes problems. Because it'll heal after every round, and that's not fun. No. So what happens with the final boss is that it will trade blows back and forth with units on this plane, essentially, until either the boss dies or all your units die. And once that's done, it goes up to the next one. So it's like clearing everything out. So that's slightly different to how combat works for normal stuff. So I don't really have much to lose here, so I'm just gonna displace units essentially. Why not? Let's go. So it looks like we are going to do 23 damage here. Oh yeah, so this is the thing that explains that they do combat until all enemies are defeated, essentially. And this little thing is a special ability where it, quote, adds a Weight of Contrition card to the top of your draw pile, and we will see what that does, because I'm not killing them this round. So we're going to resolve this real quick. He got some action. Very good. It goes down to here. They're going to go back and forth for a little while. All right. So that shuffles a bad thing into my deck, which I don't like. So these things are fairly common in this game, where Purge means once you play this, it permanently removes it from your deck for the rest of the run. So sometimes cards can persist throughout different levels, which is horrifying sometimes. So we're going to get rid of this because otherwise, if it ended the round in my hand, my Pyre would take damage. So let's get rid of that real quick. Let's just play a drag. Maybe we can get him this time. Nope, it's going to do 23, except we're just going to do 25 now. So I think we're pretty good. So this game also has like a high score kind of element going on. As you can see, I get points for winning the battle. I get points for ending the combat not in the Pyre zone, basically. And I did the trial, which was that optional thing in the beginning. So I got some extra points here. Here there are lovely spoils. No, go ahead, Jason.
It's kind of interesting, yeah. So at the beginning of the campaign, they tell you that there's some different kind of objective, right? Like or something gets randomly selected, which was going to consume your spells. And then you have the option to add kind of modifiers at the beginning of each battle as well. Like makes it more difficult in exchange for greater reward. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, there's a little bit of like a push your luck kind of element with this. It's easier in the beginning, not only from like a mechanic standpoint, but also from like a player fatigue standpoint. It's like you're more likely to like push the limits at the beginning because you have less to lose. Again, like runs only take like an hour in this game for the most part. So like if you're not like talking the whole time. But like also if you've played a class before, I've never played these guys. So you like have less to lose, and so it's like it's nice to get a victory with that trial. So yeah, here are spoils. So we got money, we got a couple of card packs, which I'll show you in a second, and we also get to draft an extra unit, which is basically like a card pack. So we'll do this. It does it in order. So I can choose to grab one of these or throw it away and get a little bit of money. So we're gonna figure out what we want here because I've never seen any of these. This applies Burnout 3 to friendly Burnout units, so it allows them to stay around a little bit longer. Yep. I can only do this once per battle, though. This guy's got Extinguish, which is just an effect that triggers on death. Applies Stealth 1 to friendly units, which is pretty cool. It basically allows them not to be targeted by attacks. So, like, just units won't attack them, and it allows them to do an attack afterwards. So,
by the way, did you figure out what happens to your... What were they called? Like the little tiny peon units? in terms of those being reusable, like when they burn out?
I haven't figured that one out because normally
Okay.
there's you get like spells that allow them to come back and stuff like that.
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see it eventually. I hope.
Yeah. Okay.
So this gives you like a little buff, and then it applies burnout to a unit. So I'm kind of curious what happens here because I don't really like this one super a lot because it doesn't really do much by itself. This could be cool to keep people around, but generally you want stuff to die. So,
See you, Malieve.
see you, leave. Malieve. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not like super enthralled with any of these, but I think I'll grab this one. This seems interesting. A little bit extra attack never hurt anybody.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Oh, yeah, this is the Hellhorn stuff. I forgot. They also have these things called imps, which are like not quite morsels, which were the Umbra's special thing. They're like little dudes that have little extra effects when you summon them.
Okay, but they're just super weak, so they're gonna get.
They're
killed.
super weak, so they usually get destroyed. They're nice though because they'll take a hit for you, which is cool too. That's okay. Armor's all right, but people are not going to stay around, so I'm just kind of, I'll just take this. We're probably going to purge this card at some point, but we'll do it. All right, here we go. I have never seen this one. This is interesting. There's so much stuff. Revenge. When damaged, friendly burnout units gain burnout 1. So this keeps people around for longer. Also has like some decent stats, surprisingly enough.
So when it says apply burnout 2, is that setting the burnout to 2? But when it says gain burnout 1, it's gonna like top up.
I think
burnout?
I think it adds like +2. Or so this one, it says friendly burnout units gain burnout 1. It just adds 1 to their burnout, basically.
Okay.
So it keeps them around for like an extra round, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very Hellhorn thing. Lots of attack, no defense. Pretty normal. Real Beater's cool, though, because it allows... So, okay. Armor's cool, which is basically like health that you can't get back, essentially. But Strike is really awesome because it okay, when you know how in the last combat a healer with like no health got spawned behind a rather large unit.
Yep.
So basically when you attack units, you always attack the front one. So what this is nice for is like putting like the really tough units way in the back so you can get rid of their supports really quickly. I actually really like this unit. So I'm tempted to do that, but I think we want to go into full burnout mode. So we're gonna grab this lady. So hopefully we'll get some burnout stuff pretty soon, but
Yeah, I mean it's interesting already how, as opposed to like a Hearthstone where you're like actively doing stuff, it's more like you place these things and then
then they go.
the implications of what happens just happens.
Yeah, totally. Yep. Yeah, it's interesting. I like it because there's a lot of like upfront decision making that you have to do. And then yeah, that's basically how that works. I kind of want to go down this path right here because it gets me a new unit in my primary plan because I've seen much less of those, so I'm kind of really curious. So we're going to go over here. We're going to interact with this one first. Oh, lovely. This is what I was hoping for. I have seen this guy before, and he's hilarious. So when anything on the floor dies, he gets +1 attack and +3 health permanently. We're definitely going to go for this one, especially since we've done this one before.
So you're not going to have 2 like big harvest units, basically.
You can have like well, it's whenever any unit on this floor dies. So
yeah, what I mean is you've now got him as well as your like hero.
Oh, totally.
Right?
Yeah.
So now
The
you've
only
got 2.
Yeah. The only problem with that is that my like hero unit doesn't get attack when a unit dies. So eventually you're gonna have to kill something. All right. So this is a unit upgrade shop basically. Which each one of these unit cards here, they have 2 upgrade slots, so you can permanently change how they work basically. And also this shop has some extra stuff that's interesting, but we're gonna focus on these down here real quick. So basically, these are permanent upgrades that start off small and then get bigger the more you go to the right. So this speedstone thing is cool because it upgrades a unit with quick, which allows them to attack first, which is not normal, basically. So I'm tempted to get this guy really big. But yeah, I'm really tempted to do that. Just to get like a really nice big unit in the beginning of the game. And we don't want him to die, so.
Typically, I feel like you would use Speedstone on a character with a lot of attacks so that the enemy doesn't have a chance to retaliate, right?
So yeah, but ideally, this guy would get bigger and bigger for a long like over the course of the battle. So he'll get like he should get bigger than these guys. But actually, you know what? Hold on, Paul. You're right. I've got an idea. We're gonna make these guys really big.
Okay.
We're gonna make these dudes real big, or at least this guy. I'm not sure if I want to give him another burnout. Well, you know what? Yeah, well, because I want him to die quicker, right? So let's just give him more attack, so he'll do like 19 real quick. And then we'll make this lady slightly larger, also give her more burnout, because we want her to stay around for a while. The other secondary stuff that you can do here is re-roll the random goods. It's a little bit costly, but sometimes it's worth it. And also, you can purge cards from your deck, and this amount goes up every time you purge a card. So if you want to kind of trim stuff, like eventually we're probably gonna want to get rid of these torches and probably all of these trained stewards at some point. But for now, we don't really have that much going on in our deck, so we don't really have that option.
So are we kind of setting up for a strat where we have like one of our powerful people on each floor and then smaller burnout ones to kind of buff those up? Is that kind of where we're headed?
That's what I'm thinking. I really hope so. Because normally I've kind of thrown through a loop here because I thought we would see more of that effect where you can get units back sooner. Which leads me to believe that that like main unit upgrade would have been nice, the different one that I was talking about, but I'm not exactly sure how that works. So I'm actually not going to turn this one on because Spikes 3 is bad because whenever a unit attacks an enemy unit, that enemy unit with spikes, they'll take 3 damage. And
that's like the thorn thing that those
our wax dudes have 3 health. So that'll just kill them outright.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm not gonna turn this one on, even though 75 coins would be nice. We're just gonna see what happens here. I am not expecting to go to the end of this one, but we will see what happens. Gosh, all right, that's not actually that's not a bad wow, that's actually not a bad start. Okay, cool. So I'm just gonna put him up here for safekeeping for the most part, and we'll have 2 extra stuff. All right, yeah, cool. All right, so we're gonna put him up here. He's not actually like he's actually one of the weaker units that we have right now, but
yeah,
he'll upgrade pretty soon. So we're just gonna chill, and we're gonna get her in the front, and put him in the back, and then we've got an extra little bit of stuff. So we're just gonna do that. So this guy loses spikes. This actually works out to our advantage because he's only gonna take 21, so he'll have what, like 9 left or something like that, and that's more than enough for him to take him out. So he'll get a nice harvest at some point. So good stuff. It would be nice to harvest him on this floor because he gets attack, but you know, what can you do? She's gonna fizzle out eventually, unfortunately, but we're hopefully gonna use her health. Oh, that's very convenient that this spawned on this floor instead of the middle floor. So that allows him to go get that extra money. So that's cool. We are trying to look to do as much upfront damage here as possible. So I think I'm just going to put a Dreg here because if something dies, he'll eventually die. He'll get some good stuff. But whenever she gets burnout, he gets more burnout. So, hey, that's not too bad. And he's free anyway. So, let's get you in there. Let's actually get some pre-harvest stuff here, I think. We're just going to do that to you. He gets a little bit more health there. This one's going to be done. This one doesn't matter because he's going to go here and that one's going to go. So, you know, let's just put you here just to have something there. And I don't really need to do anything with these, so we're just going to go to the next round.
Nice.
There's a little bit, but not enough. All right, you got another harvest. Very good. All right, and we're already on the boss. So I'm going to keep this guy around because, yeah, I don't want to play him just yet because it's going to take a little while for the boss to get up here if need be. So I'm just going to play some, like, trash units for the most part. I want to keep that space open.
I have a question about armor. So is
Yeah.
armor, does that apply per attack or
Nope.
is it per round?
It's temporary health, basically. So the difference between armor and health is that units have a maximum health. Units do not have a maximum armor. So you can, like, there's spells that give you additional armor, and then there's spells that give you additional healing. So that healing will cap out, but armor will not, basically.
I see. So
And
it's
units
literally-
always get hit on the armor first.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on here. Which especially I picked a class that was not super straightforward, so. But we can handle it. Oh, man. Okay. So actually, we're going to take him out pretty early. He's going to be on the first round. We actually don't have any room here either, so this really doesn't matter. So we're just going to let this play out. I'm actually going to make it go a little faster than normal.
90
So.
health. Okay.
And so I only have to take out the first one. I only have to take out the boss for this to work. So we're just going to do that. Why not? Just going to see how this pans out here. And just about. Hooray! Got him.
Nice.
Sweet. All right. So got a little bit extra stuff because of that 3-turn boss rush, but yeah. All right, cool. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. This is the keyword that we need. So this allows us to get back a defeated friendly unit. This is the thing that we need. This is definitely the thing that we need. This other stuff is kind of cool, like Extinguish, which is whenever this dies, it deals 35 damage, but which could be cool with Reform, so you get to use it over and over again, but we need to start that
reform,
engine.
right? We need that
Yeah.
basic tool in the toolbox.
Yeah, I'm so surprised that we weren't able to get it early enough.
So did it say something about burnout as well? Like it had some other effect, right?
This one?
Reform.
It gives it
Enhance.
+1 burnout. Yeah. So it when
Okay.
a unit comes back, it gets +1 more burnout than it had before. And it also permanently gets that +5 damage and +5 health, and it also costs 0, or it doesn't add 0 basically. So, so it makes it get a little bit better. But yeah, we need this so bad.
Yep.
And I don't really like any of these because our deck might not look really big right now, but like it's going to get a little bit more cluttered as we go. And these aren't super synergistic with any of the stuff that we have. So I'm actually going to exercise some restraint here and skip that. And not grab any more stuff, essentially. Interesting. So we have 2 interesting options here. On the left-hand side, we can get a nice passive artifact, which you usually have. I think you have a choice of 2, essentially. And then we get another remnant unit, which is also interesting because I definitely haven't seen all of them. On the right-hand side here, we can upgrade units again, which could be nice since not a lot of our dregs are upgraded. And if we had taken damage, we could restore a little bit of health. Regardless if we go left or right, we will get to go to these concealed caverns, which helps us. It's like a random encounter, basically, that could be good or bad, kind of. I mean, it's always good, but it usually has a price to it. So either way, we can go here. What are you guys' opinions on where we should go?
I kind of like the worm graphic on the right. Big mouth and stuff. Kind of want to go there, but I don't know. What about you, Jason? What do you think?
It's kind of like a Sarlacc pit crossed with like a Shai Hulud, right?
Yeah, it's definitely it's the biggest one that they've ever seen. I just finished reading that book, by the way. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
What did you think of it?
I really like it. And then I started reading Messiah, and I'm just like, oh, we're going this way with it now, are we?
Yeah, I only ever read the first.
Oh,
the original one.
okay. I don't want to give away any spoilers or anything, but
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna read any
Oh,
more. Like I
okay,
did
cool.
enjoy it, and it had a lot of really super like imaginative stuff, and I just loved the
Yeah.
whole vibe a bit, and like like the Arabic influence was really cool.
yeah.
But I don't know. I just found it kind of tiring as well.
So, Paul, are you gonna Paul Atreides? Are you going to? That's the main character's name, actually. What or Muad'Dib or whatever the other like 5,000 names he has. What are you gonna read Dune at some point?
I'm not. You know what? I feel kind of the same as what Jason said. I read the first one.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. And I wasn't like a big fan, but I mean, this is me reading it like, I don't know, 40 years or more after it was released. And
Sure, yeah.
maybe I just wasn't in the right mindset and didn't have the right context before reading
Gotcha.
it. But
It's interesting. So I'm assuming you guys aren't going to read the second one, but regardless, like I haven't read the second one all the way through, but I've read like it's really funny because when I started reading it, I read like the foreword. And like it gives away like a lot of what's going on. I'm just like, you've got to be kidding me.
I had the worst experience with that. So have you guys ever read any Asimov books?
No, I have not.
Okay, so he's got this.
Besides some short stuff, but not a hell of a
Yeah.
lot.
So he's got this. One of his most famous series is called the Foundation series, and they've got these names like Foundation and Empire, Second Foundation.
Okay.
And it's one of these things where you wouldn't know like what the correct order is unless you like looked it up. I just happened to buy them all, and I'd finished reading the first one, and then I picked up. I kind of want to Google now what the order is. Hang on.
That's funny. Oh, jeez.
Okay, yeah. So it's a trilogy, and it's Foundation and Empire, and then Second Foundation.
What? Wait, hold on.
Yeah. What I did was I read Foundation, and then I thought, oh yeah, this is great. I'll pick up the next one. I opened Second Foundation, and in typical like Isaac Asimov style, the very first thing in the book is an encyclopedia entry, like spoiling the entire second book.
Oh my gosh. Last time on Asimov.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay.
Anyway, sorry. That's an old scar that kind of reminded me of.
Well, basically, like Herbert was like, when Messiah was released, a lot of people were upset because in the first book, they basically build Paul up to be this like, kind of like action hero, kind of like chosen one type deal.
Yeah.
But if you know like Herbert's politics, you know that like this is not the good guy by any means. And like the whole second book is tearing that character down completely. Because it's like the whole thing is about the dangers of following a charismatic leader, essentially.
Yeah.
So like if you felt that like the first book did not kind of like went along with like the jihad a little bit too much, that was not a good thing. You're not supposed to be happy about that, essentially. So yeah, it's interesting. So I'm only like maybe like 30 pages into Messiah, but it's already just like the whole thing is just like scheming to take him down, essentially. Like the entire thing. Like how do you take down this like this god person, basically this demigod who knows everything.
Yeah. For me, it was one of those books that has so many cool elements. Like, obviously, the worms are like super iconic, and then you have
Oh, totally, yeah.
the way the knife thing works. You have like those suits, those like
Mm.
water recycling
Still
suits.
suits,
and
yeah.
That's what it's called. Yeah. Like, there's so many good elements, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It has a very specific like style, or I don't want to say agenda, but like if you're not like vibing with it, then
Yeah.
it can kind of drag out. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, it has a, and like the farther you go in the sections of that book, the more like disjointed a lot of like the timeline becomes, and sometimes it gets a little bit difficult to like follow. But I don't know. I really enjoyed it personally, but I also really like that type of hard world building as well. So I'm kind of like a sucker for that type of thing. Like
also it's so hyped, right? It's one of those.
It is, and like the movie came out in like the 80s, but the new movie is supposed to come out this year, of like it's like a reboot essentially of that. So, I'm kind of hyped to see that without Sting playing one of the characters, and like. Don't get me wrong, like there are some like really good actors in that movie, but like I don't know, like obviously it shows its age sometimes now. And yeah, it's weird though because this movie is going to be like 1/3 of the book. So it's gonna end like because the book's like split up into books, I guess. The novel is split up into 3 books, and it's only gonna go into like the first one, whereas like the 80s movie, or it was like late 80s, early 90s, I can't remember, but that movie does the entire book of Dune in one go, and that's like I'm not sure that's like the best way to do it, but anyway, all right, let's get some gameplay going. Yeah, there's this is probably the way that I'd go because one, we get a cool unit, we don't need any health, and sometimes the new primary units are better than these little guys, or they should be at least.
I feel like there's probably something missing in the toolkit still, even with
yes, definitely.
we have more of that revival stuff maybe, or I could.
Yeah, we need to use this passive. We need to do passive. So let's figure out what the artifact that we get is first, and then we'll figure out that. Okay. Neither of these super useful. This is nice. It's kind of a small buff. We're not going to use a lot of consume cards. We're going to probably be using a lot of like units preferably. So like this is useful because those guys will not have 3 health anymore.
Consume cards are like spells basically for the most part, right?
A lot of times some spells have consume, some do not. Like any of the cards that are not units, I guess are spells technically. But not all spells have the consume keyword. Yeah.
Is there one of your... Do we have any key cards right now which are consume?
No, none of them.
Okay,
so
well,
that's... Yeah.
That question is answered.
Yeah, exactly. I definitely would want this over 25 gold, so we're going to do that. And then let's see what we get here. Hey, we got this guy. And you can see they come pre-buffed because of that passive. This can get hilarious. Because this could happen a lot during a game. So every time this person gets a killing blow, he gets 20, which can be really fun, especially if you upgrade this unit. So depending on unit placement, this could be really nice. It could be cool to have another one of these guys to like get another row going, basically. But oop, shoot. Okay, good. I thought I just backed out of that menu by accident, but there are like stops along the way here. On the track that allow you to duplicate cards. So at some point we might be able to duplicate an upgraded Baron, so we don't necessarily need 2. So this thug is has big potential. This could be a whiff, I don't know, but
yeah,
I'm not expecting to get to the end here, so. All right, so this is a nice little random encounter here. Mercy, please. I mean no harm. So this is like a renegade angel, who is sympathetic to your cause here. So he's going to give me the option of temporarily getting rid of a card to get it back later buffed, essentially.
Cool. So can you just give
yeah.
him one of your train dudes, right? One of the crappy
I
ones?
could, yeah. The only thing is, like, hopefully by the end of this, I won't have a train dude at all. That's like
Right.
the ideal, but yeah.
Might it still not help you to have one less for the next battle? Even?
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's definitely true. Otherwise, you can give him a spell, which is pretty cool. But yeah, we could do that. Let's do that. Purge a unit. Let's go. Maybe I should get rid of this stupid imp. Who knows? So yeah, let's get rid of this train steroid. We don't need him, for now. And we'll get him back at some point. I don't know what he's doing with that unit. I don't know why he's doing why we're doing him a kindness by letting him chill with that. But you know, it's fine. I'll see you later, bud.
Yeah, what are they doing in that tent? Anyway,
Like,
move on.
maybe like for a unit it makes sense because like they can like have that unit defend him basically. Like, but you can give him spells too, which doesn't like I don't know. All right, cool. So this is one of those mini bosses, basically, who has all the bosses have kind of kick-ass music. So we'll listen to that. Actually, every different encounter like has different music. So there are like every single combat encounter, which is pretty cool. And it's actually all on Spotify too. So, which is pretty cool. I've been listening to that a little bit. But this boss guy, he spawns in before. Like at the first round, he spawns in, and he's kind of like outside of the train, and he'll randomly shuffle in between different rows, basically. And he does some extra stuff depending on the row that he's in, and we'll see what's going on. He does this thing where he'll spawn in explosives, and then they'll come in with a damage shield, so they're a little bit difficult to kill in the beginning of these rounds. So we'll see what's up. All right, so he spawned in this nice explosive. Yeah, so he's there until the end of the game. Eventually, he'll join the fray, but otherwise, he'll just chill out here. You can deal damage to him,
Okay.
but it's basically like any spillover damage, it'll do that. So,
Yeah. Can you show the card text for the explosive again?
Yeah, sure. So, if I don't kill it, it is going to destroy itself. And actually, I don't know if it happens. It says triggers on this unit's turn.
Yeah, right, and they go first, right? So
well, the cool thing is, I have enough mana to play everything in my hand, so I could technically destroy it with a torch. So I'm tempted just to like lay everything down on this row and kind of ignore what's going on down here.
if you don't put anything in front of it, will it be harmless?
It will be harmless, so that's another option. So we could put stuff here. The cool thing is, I could potentially knock this out and start dealing damage to him already.
Or could you... Oh, no, you don't have... Could you put your guy down and like a dreg in front?
Yeah, so I can get rid of a dreg, basically.
Yeah, and then your harvest thing gets buffed as well, right?
Yes, technically, yeah. So
I don't know if that's risky or...
I think that's fine, to be honest. So what we could do is like put all three of these guys up here. And then down here, I could actually take out a couple of these supporting units early. So that these two will get the harvest bonus. And we'll do a little bit of damage to him. And we won't be going like all in. So we can kind of like split the difference a little bit. I'm actually really tempted to do that. Because I don't think these guys do anything too bad until we actually get up to here. So let's put some stuff down. He doesn't do any damage until he like joins the fray. So he's just gonna be chilling. He'll be floating around for the most part. So we're gonna put him down. I don't necessarily want to lose him very early, so I'm just gonna put him down here. Put you in the front. You'll go bye-bye, but that's okay. So this thing's gonna explode, and then we'll actually do 16 damage to him. It's gonna like take out some of these supporting units as well. So they'll explode. Yay, harvest. They did a little bit of damage to him. That one moves up, and we got some new stuff. All right, so we got a new unit here, which is thankfully not going to cause me much of a problem. So whenever I cast a spell on the floor that this person's on, he gets plus an extra attack. Thankfully, units do not count as spells. So this is not really that much of a problem for me. So thankfully, but for other more spellcasty type loadouts, that becomes a real issue sometimes. So I could do one of two things. I could let this one go through, because that's going to deal 10 damage to something, but these two alone are not going to be able to do 25 damage. They only do 16, so I have to figure out what I want to do. I could put a drag up here, and that will do exactly enough damage, actually. So that's probably not a bad thing. Of course, it costs 0, so that's less of a problem. So I'm actually interested in trying to take out one of these with this thug here. But he has to do the last attack. So the one way to do this is to put the lady in the front and then put the thug behind. He'll take him out. And you know what? I kind of want to take that out. But you're not going to die. I want to keep you guys around. And it's really hard to get rid of him. So, we don't need to do that much else, to be honest, here. Actually, that's going to do a lot of damage. I'm tempted now. Very curious. We're going to do something a little risky here. Get in there. Perfect. Exactly how we planned it. So he'll do quick, but that'll only take out the imp, actually. We get plus 20 gold. Excellent. The only thing is I'm going to have to, like, nanny this a little bit to make sure that he gets the kill every single round. So it's a little bit of upkeep, but what are you going to do? That's fine. If she takes some damage, that's all right. That one will burn out. That one will burn out. We don't want to burn these out too quickly because we want to make sure that we have some units by the time that he's done. So, that's going to take that out. She's going to do that. So, I can take a little less damage, actually, if I just decide to torch that out. So that's nice. Don't really have too much else going on here. So I'm just going to... There you go. 2 damage. It'll make a difference in the end, I guess. So he's going to burn out. So hopefully we get that card that allows me to get them back. Because that's the card that I want to get back, is the bigger one. All right, excellent. So we do have that. So I want to do this first. It says 4 available. I don't know how many it offers me, but we're going to see what happens. Oh, I get my choice. Yeah, we're going to do that. So I'm going to select them, and they get bigger. But as you notice here, they all get bigger in terms of their, like, however they get resummoned. So this is pretty nice. So he's got burnout 3 now, so it's going to take him 3 rounds to get killed off. But he's the one that has quick and a lot of attack. So let's do that. Let's get him back. So what I actually want to do here is I want to deal some decent damage pretty soon. Actually, we're gonna have a problem at some point because we need to start taking these out. Choices. Jeez. Got burnout 5. You know what? I'm curious about how long I can keep this unit around. So I am going to get them there, and I am going to get 2 additional rounds of burnout on her. Yeah, you get a little bit of encamp, but that's okay because he's gonna leave soon anyway, so that's all right. He'll take some damage, but he's got 24. You know what? I could just put a drag here, and he'll get stronger. So haha. All right, and he got a kill, so we got 20 more money, so that's good. Oh, there's nothing on this row, so I really don't have to care about anything. I can start getting units back. That would be nice to start getting, like, better units. So we're just gonna try to get bigger, better boys here. You can also get back units that don't have burnout, but it only has them at burnout 1, so they're not going to last very long. So we're going to try to get more of these.
That's interesting, right? Like, if the unit has burnout already, then it's a positive. If it doesn't, then...
I'm sure there's instances where having like a unit that you mostly want for buffs, like that imp, and have them just go away afterwards could be pretty cool. But in our situation, I'm not sure that's like the best way to do it. But I'm gonna put this burnout one back again because we want this one to leave. We only have one slot here, so it only allows us to put one of those candle dudes in there. Not exactly sure what we should be doing at this point. Actually, we want this to go like this because I think this thug is gonna kill this foot soldier. So we're gonna get some extra. We're gonna get some extra money here. So I'm just gonna throw some stuff away at him. Does nothing. Oh, I forgot he had he has quick, so it doesn't matter. I think we should be able to do enough to him. Yep, we do enough to him. So I'm not even gonna bother with the other stuff. We're just gonna watch this play out. So sometimes you get lucky and you've positioned yourself really well throughout a match, and so you can just let the final stuff just do its course. So, hey, so not bad, not bad. And he actually got the killing blow on the boss, so we just got 20 more gold. Yeah. Oh man. All right, so we've got a couple of X spells. Yeah, we're getting there. We've got a couple of X spells here, which is pretty cool. This is from our Hellhorn guys. Gives me, depending on how much mana I use, it'll give me X times these, basically.
Okay, yeah.
This one is interesting because it actually does damage to the front enemy unit 10 times the number of friendly units that have died during this battle. So this could actually be very, very devastating on, gosh, if we had the Umbra as the secondary people, that could be really cool because technically you throw away like dozens and dozens and dozens of morsels, and they're technically units. So that could be absolutely devastating. I'm leaning towards this because it's got more burnout stuff. It also enhances all friendly units with this amount. So that's pretty cool. It's good for like an end kind of thing, like an end boss type thing, because I believe it applies burnout to everybody. So it also will apply burnout to like your big cards that you don't want to die. So honestly, I would go with either one of these two. What do you guys think?
I kind of want to choose Memento.
That seems like a nice like boss killer kind of.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Thing, right?
Yeah, and this is really nice. Also, it's a little bit. This has a very like specialized like instance where you would want to use this. This could. It also doesn't have consume, so you can use this multiple times during a fight. So could be really cool. All right. I guess it just gives us a big chunky unit. It's got burnout 3, which could be nice, but it gives us like a nice base, which is cool. Like this is a good amount of stats.
Yeah.
These guys or whatever, we're not leaning into the secondary very much. We kind of want that first stuff. All right, so after every boss, we also get to enhance our pyre with different, like, I guess, extra, like, primary and secondary stats. So we either get one more mana each turn, draw one more each turn, or we get an extra slot on each floor. So all of these are pretty good. It really depends on what you're building towards. So, yeah, I don't really know. Like, I don't think we really have an issue with drawing the stuff that we need. So I'm less inclined for this. We also haven't really had an issue with having enough mana for stuff.
Right.
Because our dregs, they cost nothing. We did get this Memento Mori that costs 3, but Generally,
more of an
like,
end game.
yeah, it'll cost like an entire turn, but if you've already got all your your units set, then you don't really need more mana. I'm kind of in between this and this because capacity is really nice because we can put more of those dregs down quicker. But those embers could be nice though. I will say, depending on what you draw, it could make like a decent difference. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Bell's Remorse or Light of Seraph?
I would lean towards capacity because you've already got that the memento thing, right, which gives us a bonus based on the number of units which we've chewed through. So
yeah,
more units, more capacity, more units, more bonus from that memento thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean that could work. Yeah, it's funny. I usually take this almost always. Like I don't. On very special circumstances where I'll take drawing extra cards, is usually for like the spellcaster type deal. So, but yeah, I mean that's decent. You are you gonna back that, Paul? Extra capacity.
Let's go for it. Let's do
All
it.
right, roll. So not bad. We're not getting too bad trinkets here.
Okay, I'm gonna be right back while you guys are.
Yeah, sure. All right. Let's tank the run, Paul, real quick before Jason gets back. All right, cool. Yeah, hey, that's the duplicator thing. So,
there it is.
the only thing is, okay, we do have one unit that's like quote fully upgraded, which is nice. Like what you want to do with duplicators is you really want to duplicate stuff that's been upgraded.
I see.
And we don't really have too much else going on. So on this side, we've got some extra money. We get to upgrade our magic spells if we so choose, and we get some health. The right-hand side, we've got duplicating any card except your champion. We can get a new Hellhorn unit. Might pick it up, might not, probably not, but you never know. Could be interesting. And then we got this Unstable Vortex, which allows us to throw 2 cards away. That's super useful because we have a lot of like dead cards in here. We're getting a little bit big. I would like to keep this down to like under 20 cards, preferably, and and make those cards like actually good.
Yeah. Let's see that.
Yeah. All right. Sweet. We also get to upgrade the champion, which is super fun. So generally we're gonna do this first. So train stewards can be useful sometimes, just as like a body. So I think I'm gonna get rid of these torches first. They're kind of useless.
Yeah, it's
In the beginning of the game, they're cool, because they can get rid of those like 1-2 health minions. But at this point, you don't see too many of those. This is like not super important. Yeah, I'm like not super enthused about either of these guys, so we'll just get some money, I guess.
Because they don't really play into whatever we're trying to do, right?
Yeah, exactly. We want this like we're really heavy into our primary kind of stuff. You know what? Before we duplicate, I'm kind of curious about what our champion upgrade options are going to be. Oh my gosh, we've got it. Yes. Okay, so this is absolutely key for this class. So at the end of combat, I get to reform a random unit, which is what that spell does. But he gets to do it for free every single round. I don't know, like, this is so key to this, like, to this build. I don't know why they just don't have it on every starting character. It is just so useful. Like, this is not up for a debate. We're rolling with this guy because
So
like
what
you get
hap-
some stats, but
So what happens when you reform a unit?
so
stat buff?
it allows you to pick a unit that's died, and it gives it allows you to resummon it, gives it a stat buff, but it also gives you a stack of that burnout. So you really don't want to like reform cards that don't have burnout to begin with.
Right.
I mean, there could be like a use case for that if you wanted to, but generally like you're gonna want to use this on like cards with reform anyway. So
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
This guy's super useful. We're definitely gonna go with that. Hopefully our build will come together pretty soon and we will be unstoppable. The only person that we've really upgraded is this Dreg, so this is a good thing to start like duplicating. I would love to have upgraded some of this other stuff a little bit higher. But we just don't have that right now. So it'd be nice to duplicate that. Yeah, that's definitely what we should be doing. Okay. All right, cool. We're ready to go. Let's roll. So hopefully we will see. Oh man, I love this wrestler angel. This is ridiculous. It's my favorite unit because he's just so silly looking. He's definitely a wrestler. It is absolutely ridiculous. Okay, so we're definitely gonna do this. As dangerous as this trial is, getting a random artifact is super useful because if we get another one that's kind of like this, that will be in a very, very good place, I hope. So, what else? They got some interesting units, anti-spell, but we don't care about that too much. And then they've got this marksman character that does a lot of damage but has like no health. We still have like, we still have a couple of these torches still left in the deck, so we can potentially knock them out. But you know, we'll see what happens. All right, I'm very curious how this is gonna go. Jason, are you back?
I am here.
Okay, so we got the upgrade for this guy. So every round you will get a chance to get a unit back. Yeah, so I don't know why this isn't like the default thing. Like, it's super punishing if you don't get it. It is so useful. It boggles my mind. I just can't.
That's the missing piece, right? That's kind of answers all our questions about that. So
yeah,
what's the chance of you not getting that upgrade? Is it like an inevitability, or
it gives you 2 out of 3 choices. So there's 3 different types of upgrades for your unit, and it gives you a choice of 2 every single time. And there's 3 rounds of upgrades. One at the very beginning. We just got another one, and then we'll get a 3rd one pretty soon. Well, not pretty soon, but yeah.
So does that mean you end up getting all of them? There are 3 in total, or there are 9 in
You
total?
can stack each one 3 times, basically.
Oh, so you might not see that upgrade.
Yes, exactly. You might actually not see that one. I don't know if there's like a thing where if you choose a specific one at a certain round, it doesn't show up in the next one. I think you still have that option though, because there's an upgrade path where you can get all 3, I believe. But anyway, this is not the most ideal hand to start with, but I'm very happy about that resolve. Nothing's died yet, which I'm tempted to get this guy and just start the death train rolling. Because he's not going to kill anything. He's just immediately going to die. But if we can get him big and have him start killing stuff, that would be really cool. So let's just run him in there. Actually, you know what? He doesn't necessarily have to die super soon because we can actually torch this one. That'll help us out actually in the long run. So we'll just get him in to do a little bit of damage. He got 10 armor, but it's fine. I'm not going to worry about it too much. All right, that resolved. There was nothing dead, so that's fine. We're going to take some damage, guaranteed, because every time, I just forgot, every time something moves up, they heal to full. So we're really going to want to stack the top here as much as possible. So he's got 60. That's 15. That's 25. Oh, geez. That's going to be really tough to knock them out. But he only does 4, and we've got 110 health, so I'm not super concerned about that. We're going to figure it out, though. So the idea is to just, like, completely stack one of these. Actually, is it possible to knock him out completely here? Because he's got 60, so that's... I can do math real good, as you guys can tell. Are we just off by, like, 1? Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh, I think we're off by 1. Because that's 15. That is 40. And that's 59. You've got to be kidding me. That is absolutely ridiculous. Oh my gosh. Jeez, these guys need to get stronger though. Because if I stack all of these in the same row, they'll never burn out until this one's gone. So that'll be... Oh, geez. I think we got ourselves into a little bit of a pickle here. Oh, man. Okay, well, let's figure it out. Oh, gosh, he's going to do a lot of damage. I'm not sure this was the best choice. Well, this one's pretty chunky, so I want to put this one down at least at some point. Oh, gosh. This is going to be interesting. He only does 4. It's such a rough situation. That's ridiculous. I really wish we could get them bigger. Oh, man. All right, well, I'm just trying to check this guy out here. It has 75. Oof. We're in a tough situation here. I want this one to die pretty quickly. So we're just going to... Because I want to, like, buff up this one over and over and over again, hopefully. Gosh, there's no good way to do this, unfortunately. I'm kind of upset. We're not gonna... This is not gonna end well for us.
Yeah, it was going so well until that.
Yeah, it's tough. I just want to get stuff into the death pool so we can get in there. Oh, man, that doesn't even kill him. He needs to die pretty soon. Don't worry, he'll die pretty soon. Oh, man. Okay. Lovely Baron here. That's that could be interesting at some point. Okay. +5, huh? That does not help us out, unfortunately. But that's actually also not going to help us. It only does that much. That's 19. Oh gosh, you're so close. That's ridiculous. This is like relatively undefended, so I want these dregs to die as soon as possible. And a lot of stuff is gonna die in this row, so I want him to keep on keeping on here. You know, let's just... Oh, that's a lot of dregs actually. Let's do this in a controlled manner, shall we? Because I can only get 1 back per turn, and I get a random one, so I have to be careful about who I'm sacrificing. Oh god, this is gonna be so painful. Oh jeez, that's not good. This one's even gonna be more painful, unfortunately.
Oh, Dungeon Heart there, taking damage.
Oh man, yeah. I'm not... Ooh, jeez. Can we do this in a good way? I mean, that 20 damage is pretty good. I'll take 20 damage. They'll potentially take out this one, which could be nice. These all are fine. I'm not super worried about that. So he's actually not going to die quite yet. So we can start doing some real damage, I think. That's enough, right? Yep. See ya. All right, cool. It'll actually get both of them, so that's not bad. I am not sad about that. So I'm going to hang on to these because I want to get like a nice unit back every time. So let's just chill a little bit. All right. I would really like her back, but we got this guy back, which is fine because he's pretty chunky. Yeah, this is such a dangerous... Oh gosh, this is... we need more dregs faster. He needs to die sooner. Unfortunately, I'm not sure we can take this one out super fast.
Oh, welcome back, Babaton Bay.
Hey, what's up? Shoot. Oh man. All right, we're gonna try to... I don't know what the math is here, but we're gonna try to do some stuff. That's only 5. That's 9. Oh, jeez. I don't think that's going to be enough, unfortunately. All right. I do want him to die, though, but unfortunately he's not going to die immediately, so... Kind of a bummer. Gonna split the difference because I don't want these to die because I don't want them going into the death pool, unfortunately. Oh man, we're in a really rough spot. This is interesting. Oh hey, we got him back though, which is really nice. All right, we're gonna take some real damage here. Oh man,
That's rough.
it happens, but we're gonna get a trinket, so okay, this is only gonna do, oh, this is so nice. This is gonna do 50 damage now. So how long are these guys gonna stay around? So the ones in the back actually have to go. He only does 6 damage. After combat, he'll do more and more and more, but looking at how, like, this is not bad, actually. We should be able to do some decent damage to this one. I'm actually not going to do this because it'll only do 55. So hopefully, if my math is right, we'll be able to do more than this extra 50 if we take out this. And we take out this. Oh, yeah, there we go. We're doing better already. This is spectacular. I'm going to put you way in the back because you do some real damage. Ah, and it kills them. Yay, we did it. We're going to take some damage here, but that's all right. Because this is going to happen before that actually goes up, actually. All right, cool. Let's speed it up a little bit. All right, got him. Our candle boy got him. What do we get? I don't know what that is. So you get minus points for taking damage. We did take a decent amount, unfortunately, but hey, what are you gonna do? Oh no, I don't think so. That sounds bad to me. I don't know about you guys, but
We got a lot of low-cost cards, right?
We do.
yes, we do. That's that's actually not very good. So we could just get 25 gold though, which should be
Yeah,
nice.
earn that.
Yeah, that doesn't sound super great. So this one's interesting. Endless means whenever it dies, it goes right to the back of the draw pile. So I could technically play this every single turn, and I'll get to draw one, like, really quickly, which could be useful. I don't know if it goes into the death pool, though, which is weird. This is not super helpful because we have a decent amount of health, so generally our units can survive. This, deal damage to enemy units equal to 3 times the number of friendly unit deaths this battle. The cool thing about it is it deals damage to all enemy units.
All enemy units, yeah.
And not just like the front one, so that's actually pretty nice.
Yeah.
This is just hilarious. I'm tempted to take this because sometimes we don't have much to do. I'm not sure if it's the best thing to actually take in reality though, but the Timmy player in me really likes this. like I really just want something that does like 100 damage. That's kind of hilarious to me. You know what? Screw it. Let's go.
That's probably gonna kill all our units, right?
Yeah, which can be good because it can get stuff into the death pool faster sometimes. Oh, hey, it's our buddy. He's back. Okay, so we could take this now, or we could have him hold on to it a little bit longer and he'll give it another upgrade. Which, yeah.
Is this character much better than what it was before?
So he got extinguished, which when this character dies, it'll do 20 damage to the front enemy unit.
I see.
Which is nice, but like, I think we could do better, maybe. Like, so the longer we have him hold, I think we can only do this twice. So if we have him hold on to it again, 1, it won't go into our deck, which is good. 2, he'll upgrade it even more, which I don't know what the logic is on the upgrading. I've only done this once, but I definitely don't want this in the deck right now. That's not super spectacular.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yep,
just
sounds
get
good.
back to me, bud. Get back to the workshop, please. We're not quite there yet. We'll get there. Okay. This is nice, but also This is nice. This is a very weird path. Some of the stuff is good on this side, but also some of the stuff is very good on this side. We have a lot of money, but we don't really have a money dump except for the Merchant of Magic, which spells aren't really our thing. There could be a special circumstance for upgrading our spells, but like,
I mean, you picked up that deal 100 thing. Is that a spell? Yeah.
It is a spell, so we could mess around with this. Oh man, artifacts are so fun though. But we should probably go this side because there's some interesting stuff here actually. Yeah, let's do that. Let's figure out the big RNG first one though. Concealed caverns, ahoy. Sometimes this stuff is really nice, sometimes it is kind of useless. All right, cool. So this allows us to get a random consumable card from, whatchamacallit, from one of these secondary clans. Or we could just leave because I will say I probably don't want to get the Umber one because there's not many consumable Umber cards, and one of them gives you 3 morsels, which could be nice sometimes, but those morsels go into our death pool, and that could be that could really dilute it really badly, I think. That could be disastrous. This is usually damage, because the Stygians are like spellcasters. Hellhorn usually just gives you like rage and armor and stuff like that. So
I think Stygian sounds good then.
Yeah, I'm fine with a little bit of RNG. So what do you think, Paul? Which one of these? All right, well, big damage, hopefully. Ah, okay. This is very interesting, actually. Oh, I didn't know you had a choice. I thought it just like gave you it. You know what? We haven't seen this effect, so we're just gonna grab this. So Frostbite is a damage over time type thing, where at the end of each round, if a unit has Frostbite, it takes damage equal to the number of Frostbite stacks it has, and then it minuses 1, and then it has like, so if a unit has Frostbite 6, it'll take 6 damage, and then the next round it'll take 5 damage, and then 4, and then 3, and then so on and so forth. We can do this last. Let's see if we can upgrade some stuff. Okay. Some of this stuff is okay. Some of it is not good. I'm really tempted to re-roll. So Permafrost allows me to not discard a card if I don't use it. And discard is not consume. It's just it goes back into the card pool. So it could be nice if you have like a particular card that you just like can't use quite yet. Like say for example like a big spell like this one, or like the Memento Mori, like you can hang on to it until you need it. Usually good for like big spells because you can't always use them, but you would like to have the option sometimes. That could be nice. This upgrades a spell with plus 20 magic power and consume. I don't think we really have a use case for that. Could be cool for Torch to get it out of our deck and deal some good damage, but not as good as some other stuff. Emberstone's super useful. Reduces the mana cost. I think that would be really cool if it only costs 2. Because otherwise it's going to use up our entire turn. So let's do that real quick. We got a lot of money. I'm actually going to re-roll these because neither of these are very useful, unfortunately. Actually, you know what? It's only 20, so I'm actually just going to upgrade a Torch. One time to do 22 damage is pretty cool. Although, no, that's fine. Yeah, one time to do 22 damage, and we don't want to have a lot of these in our deck later on. So, like, during a battle. So it would be cool to upgrade that. So let's do that real quick. It only costs 20. That's fine.
It's pretty cool how much like upgrading cards seems to play a role in this, right? And that you're able to like slowly mitigate like the bad effects and.
Oh heck yeah, yeah, definitely. Okay, so Stack Stone, pretty good on some stuff. It basically will add double the stacks of anything that a spell applies. So instead of Frostbite 6, we can give it Frostbite 12, which is pretty cool. We could give something Burnout 4, which is not super useful. I think Frostbite 12 could be pretty cool. It already has Consume. that could actually be pretty nice, surprisingly enough. And why not? Like, we can't do it on anything else, and it's 100 gold, but we have the money at this point, so I don't think that's a terrible thing. My question is, can I also give it 10 magic power, which I cannot. Darn it. That would be really cool. That's not useful. Gosh, that's ridiculous. 10 magic power. Oop. I misclicked. All right, it's going to that one. Great. Spectacular. Oh, man. Too much APM. You know what? Let's make that cost 1 so we can use it almost every turn.
Okay.
Or we could get the melting down to 1 as well, which can be pretty useful, but this one's just like, that's so much damage. That would be really cool to be able to use almost anytime we pick it up.
I think so,
Yeah. All right. We could actually spend some money to purge a card if we wanted to, which we're getting a lot of cards, so I might actually just like throw away some money real quick here.
Yeah, getting a lot of money as well.
Yeah. Train stewards I really want to get rid of. This imp is not super great. I think we have too many dregs, but
We can
let's
probably
just
ditch maybe ditch like 2 cards now.
Yeah, I'll have enough money to ditch 2 cards. So every time I do this, it gets more expensive. So this first one's going to be 50. And this one's going to be 75. So... Oh, geez. I kind of want to get rid of one of these dregs, actually. I just think we have too many of them, personally. Well, actually, you know what? No. Stewards it is. We need to get rid of those. All right, now we have no money. Except, hey, we can purge some more. Forgot that we had that. So, get rid of this last torch. I really don't like having this imp, but it has its use. It has its uses. Let's just get rid of this last train steward and call it a day. All right, now we're down to 20. That's decent. We draw through a quarter of the deck every round, which is good. Yeah, let's figure it out. Hopefully,
So is torch the only productive thing you're actually taking from the secondary faction?
Yeah, I'm not using much of the secondary faction right now. I have this Inferno and this fledgling imp.
Oh, right, the Inferno also, yeah.
Yeah, this is this is going to be interesting to use. It's kind of like a last ditch like thing.
Sure.
Ooh, spell shield too. Ooh, man. I don't know. We don't use spells that much, but basically, since we don't have that many spells, Spell Shield 2 essentially tells us that we can't use any spells against those units. So I think I'm going to not do that. I'm going to lay off a little bit because I think we might need to use those big damaging spells at some point. Because I don't think our engine is fast enough yet, to be honest. We need some more of these molded cards. So I'm going to leave that off. Sorry. Normally I would just say, screw it, let's just use them all the time, but... Alright, cool. What do we got? This guy's got Slay, so he gets 2 Rage after he gets a Killing Blow, which is not too bad. I'm not super concerned about that. So these guys have Burnout 2. I think what I want to do is get some guys into the Deadpool quickly. So I think I'm going to let them kill them. But I specifically want this one to get into the death pool quicker. So I'm actually just going to throw him down here. He'll take fatal damage. That's not too bad. And what do we want to do? Yeah, we can just put this stuff like up here. Why not? I kind of want them to be like the last things. And let's just put a dragon here so that he'll probably die pretty quickly. This is not this is not consumable, so I could just do this to give him. He's gonna die anyway, so let's see what happens. I'm kind of sad that his resolve doesn't happen after the unit is killed, but what are you gonna do? This is a really nice time just to use this, actually. We could still play like a couple of dregs and stuff like that. This lady is really nice to have early, but we don't necessarily need them quite yet, so it actually might be a good way to get a little extra gold here and have these guys take it easy a little bit earlier because they're kind of weak as of right now. So I've never used this before, so that'll be fun. Oh, jeez. And we can get another one into the death pool really quick. All right, and that's what we got. So he's going to do that. We're going to do a nice little harvest. We're going to resolve, get a slightly stronger one. Unfortunately, not the best one that we have, but what are you going to do? But we're going to get some stuff in there, so get some bigger and bigger units, hopefully. This guy's health is intimidating. That only does 20 damage right now, unfortunately. We definitely want to get these dregs in there pretty quickly because they're more powerful. Man, this stuff gets harder and harder as we go. There's no like super good paths ahead, unfortunately. So this is going to do 33. That'll do 53. Oh, geez, we just need a little bit more. Do I have enough mana to do all this? Yes, I do, actually. So how's this going to work? There's that 52. Oh, man. Okay, I think this will work, right? Yeah, 20 damage. Oh, he's going to get it, though. So what does this mean? Try to figure out how exactly this works. So that's 25. I want to get that money. It's all about getting that money there. So I wonder if I put him here, he should get the killing blow on one of them, I believe. This is consume. These guys might give me trouble later, so I might as well just do it at this point. So they'll take some decent damage later on. Hey, we got a good one. We got the quick, so that's good. All right, hopefully this guy will get a kill. Yeah, he does. Hooray, money.
Money.
Oh, man. All right, let's get in there. Oh, good. We got this. That's really nice to finally get that molded in there. All right, so what are we going to do here? We're almost full up, but depending on how this goes, we could have him burn out relatively quickly. I think I'm just going to throw some trash units in here because we want to get some of the better stuff like this molded back quicker. She has burnout. That would be nice to get back because she's pretty big. We only have so many slots though, so we're going to have to put them down here. This is kind of like our kill zone for the most part, so we'll put you in the back. Why not? And that's fine. Let's get the reform going to get better units going here. We'll just put you down here. Why not? And just because, yeah. All right. Oh, I forgot about that. Eh, we got him anyway, though. Hey. All right, cool. All right, what do we got? So we're not gonna do that. That's dangerous. We're actually pretty all right here. I think I can probably. That consumes that, but 22 damage is not that bad. Potentially what I could do is torch one of my own people here to get them into the death pool faster, but I think we're fine with just playing the slow roll a little bit. We don't need to do any of this, to be honest, but getting these back faster would be nice. So let's just consume this anyway, because we're probably going to need to do that. All right. All right, finally we got some harvest stuff going here. Yeah, these guys are a little bit more difficult to plan around. Like, a lot of the other ones are a lot more straightforward. But, you know,
I mean,
what are you going to do?
You're already doing a lot of arithmetic to work out how the NXT is going to work out, and now you've also got burnout on top of that,
Yep.
another
Yeah.
layer of.
It gets real crazy. Oh man, he's got sweep. That I'm not super happy about that. So sweep allows them to do like cleave damage basically. Like it'll deal damage to all of these at once. So you've got a lot of people who are at low health. That's not very good. So we're gonna try to keep some people around a little bit longer. So I don't mind putting that there. Does a little bit more. Unfortunately, not that much. That'll do 70 damage, which is nice. We've got that. So, okay, burnout one, revenge. Trying to keep them around as long as possible. I'm not sure if that did anything because he has. Oh no, because he only has so much health. Darn it! Darn. This is kind of a bummer. Oh, and I forgot to use that. Well, what are you gonna do? Hopefully more damage is what we're gonna do. Well, we'll see what we get. We might take some decent... Oh, that's good. We might take some decent damage on this. Oh, I forgot he has lifesteal too. All right, we're gonna speed this up a little bit. There's a lot of numbers going around here. Thankfully, he ran out of lifesteal. But this row is not looking too good. However, that is not... It looks like we could do 130 damage instead, which is nice. Or we could do 130 plus 39.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is cool. I don't know if we're gonna be able to get rid of him this round, but this could be pretty nice. So okay, interesting. Yeah, let's do it because he's just gonna this one's gonna go immediately anyway, so there's no real point to do this. So actually, we're gonna do... Yeah, it doesn't really matter which order we do this in. There, 130 plus 39. I do want this unit. I'm just gonna put it in the back. All right, who do we get? That's actually not too bad. I don't mind that too much. However, we got this back, which will do the job for us. I do just want to see what we're gonna get here. We need units that are going to hang around for a while. Oh, do we have... Uh-oh. Oh, we only have one slot left, so we can't take her. And he has how much? Unfortunately, the UI is not helping me right now. I can't see how much damage he does. I think he does like 8 or something, so this one's got quick, so we want that. He'll go before that one. Yeah, I think we should be pretty good, actually. Surprisingly enough, yeah, we didn't even need to place the other one, but I'm going to do it anyway because it's fun. Sure, why not? Just make a big unit. One shot.
Nice.
So yeah, that's this game, basically. Kind of sad that we did not get to the end. We're a little bit more than halfway. We're like 2/3 of the way through. But, it's generally just more of this. Hey, it's our buddy!
Ooh, that was quick.
Deal 50 damage to the front enemy unit. That's actually not too bad if we want to just cycle this guy over and over again. I mean, we have to take him back. We don't have a choice. Thanks, bud. Hopefully we don't, you know... we won't come back for you. You can run away. It's war and everything, but, you know...
Is that guy traveling on a train too? I just realized he's...
No,
really
we just passed, I'm not sure what happened, but I think we just, like, passed him on the way. I think he was in some kind of tent or something.
So he always catches up to us.
I don't know what his deal is. Like, maybe we like take a long time. Like, maybe you have to slow down when we're fighting people. I have no clue. I have honestly no idea how that works. But hey, it's magic and stuff. And he probably has like wings and stuff, I'm assuming. I don't know. He's like an angel character kind of thing.
I mean, he's called a wing, right? That's what he called himself.
I think so, yeah. So he should be quick, right? I hope, maybe. Oh, man. So, yeah, I mean, we're getting up to about, what, 2 hours on this stream. So, I think we're going to call it. But, yeah, this is a rough introduction to a very advanced... form of how you play this game.
Yeah, it's kind of... I mean, I really like what I've seen. Pretty much all of it so far, but there's definitely a lot of complexity and a lot of systems and layers going on here.
Yeah, I mean, as with like any roguelike, like you're gonna want enough amount of randomness, but a way to chop through it and mold it to your advantage. So there's like
Yeah,
a lot of
it's
stuff that you can count on. You can actually, like, if you're really into it, you can actually count ahead on like what's going to be available to you, which is really interesting. I don't know how randomized these paths are. I'm assuming they are decently, but yeah, there's like, I mean, that's kind of like the attraction of like roguelikes and roguelites and stuff like that, is like understanding the RNG and understanding like how the game wants to be played and then using that to your advantage. And like, thankfully, at least in my experience, this game is pretty, I don't know, it's not too punishing. Like, I could easily see like a version of this game which is just like, oh, if it reaches your pyre, you're done. So yeah, I don't know, like, what do you guys think of it? Because this is your first time seeing it. We did pick like one of the more complex classes that only really came into its own like halfway through, and even then not as like crazy as like, we didn't get like a huge engine quite yet. Like, I could definitely see in like maybe like another round, like this engine could come together. But yeah, it's what are you guys like takeaways from seeing this for the first time?
I think it looks really cool. Like Jason said, it seems like there's a lot of different layers, and there's a lot of tools that the game gives you, so you can really kind of like sculpt your strategy to however you want to sculpt it, I guess.
Yeah, that's my kind of takeaway as well. Right? Ultimately, it's a deck builder, and I think that the way the deck building and upgrades work, it seems like there's a lot of latitude there to kind of
Definitely.
have a build and a strategy and play around. Do you find yourself like picking up a strategy or an engine beforehand, or are you sort of adapting to the first couple of things you encounter and then building like an engine based on the tools it happens to give you in the first couple of rounds or whatever?
Generally, like, the way that I found like the best way to play is to try to work off of what you get in the first couple of rounds. I mean, you like that first round, you really don't need to make any real decisions. I mean, you do get whatchamacallit. So there we go. So let's do a more simple one, actually. This is probably one of the more simple things. So all three of these are radically different play styles. Where like, for example, like this one is all about like, oh, this character is going to take a lot of damage, so you want to put them in the front and then buff them so they get more stacks of these spikes and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
This other one is you want to take damage because you want to draw more cards, which means you're going to be casting more spells. And this one is you want to do a lot of healing because every time you heal this character, it deals damage. So like, you're ideally going to want to build off of what your main character starts with. In some circumstances, like, because you get another choice for an upgrade, like at what was it, like round 4 or something like that. I believe it was round 4, round 5, something like that. And what we saw here was I got kind of unlucky where, honestly, I think if you're going to lean into this mechanic, and that's a lot of cards for this clan have to do with making sure that your characters die and then come back. Like, I don't fully understand how like how this works to your advantage, because unless you've got a secondary maybe if you have like a secondary clan that gives you plus attack, like a character with just a lot more health is useful, but like not as useful. This is just I'm not sure what's going on here. Unless you get that spell that allows you to choose which character you're getting back, I don't see this working like almost ever. But I mean, it's certainly intriguing though. Like, that's a lot of stats. So, but generally, going back to the original question, like, I definitely have an idea of the different types of stuff that I would want to do, and then see what like my starting trinket is or my starting unit, because like the first couple of trinkets you get really can bend what is effective. Like, for example, so these guys get that like free like thorn kind of card. It's like it costs nothing and it does like 5 damage and it allows you to draw an extra card at the start of your next turn. There's a trinket that like makes those thorns do 20 extra damage, so they can do 25 instead of 5.
Okay.
Like, so that can radically change the relative value of a certain action. So generally, like, and that's why when we started this run, I checked out the trinket first, because I'm like, all right, well, what, like, that can radically change what we do. Like, for example, if our units, when we resummon them, didn't get that plus 10 attack every time, our whole engine would be a lot less useful. But considering what we got, I definitely was like, all right, yep, we're going to try to get this as much as possible. We want our units to die. We want to get them back faster. So, yeah, you can go into it and try to bend it over a long period of time to a set strategy, but that's obviously going to be riskier because you're not going to want to invest in a temporary strategy. You're only going to want to spend stuff on things that you know you're going to want. So, like, you want to upgrade certain units. You want to remove certain cards, but you'd still have to survive, though, with the cards that you have. So, yeah, it's a delicate, like, balancing act. So
yeah,
you get a
there was the
There was
the interesting thing on this run where it took us a while to like mature into the strategy, right? To get that key component that allowed us to actually revive things at a pace. Is that something you've seen often, where you're kind of relying on a certain amount of luck, or we had that question of when it gives you those 3 options, is it doing something behind the scenes to guarantee that by the end of the game you always get the chance to see all of those potential upgrades?
I have no idea. Actually, I wonder, because I did one run. Okay, let's do some math, shall we? I did one run with this unit here, and I chose this upgrade every time. It gave me the option of picking either one of these once. So I'm assuming that, at least in this circumstance, it gave me the option of any one of these 3 upgrades throughout the course of my run. So I'm assuming that it allows you to do that. I don't have a good like test case, like, because I've played all of these multiple times and I don't remember how that worked. But yeah. So.
And you didn't keep detailed records, Andrew.
I didn't keep detailed. So I will say this. Oh man, where is it? You've got to show me, please. Please show me. Oh, it's got. Gosh, somewhere in here. I don't know where it is. It has a record of every time you've won. Let me see. I don't want to abandon. I just want to go back to the main menu. Thank you. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, run history. So, I wonder if it'll... There we go. So, it'll show me all of this stuff after you finish a run. All of your artifacts, every card that you had, all the upgrades, all the choices that you made, like whether or not you picked optional stuff to do, like how much time it took you to do this, all that kind of stuff. So the only thing that I can't see here is like what choices that it gave me, but it does give you like your final build and stuff, which is pretty cool. So kudos to these guys, because this is some really cool stuff to see later, and you can be like, hey,
do you know anything about the devs? Like, what's their background or what they work on?
I'm not 100% sure. I mean, let's go check out the devs, shall we? Where is it? I know it's here. So hey, hello, credits. Shiny Shoe. I don't remember too much about Shiny Shoe. I think they've done some ports before. But I don't know if they've done much in terms of this type of game. I will say this entire game is very polished. I've never had an issue with this game. at any point. Like nothing technical. Like I appreciate their UI. I think it's very well done. Everything like relatively makes sense. I've seen their patch notes, and they say that they're fixing stuff, but like if there's only like 4 bugs that anybody found, like
Yeah.
it's pretty tight. Like they run it. It seems like they run a tight ship in terms of making sure things work the way that they should. So I really had no problems with anything. So if they didn't have experience in anything before, I am incredibly impressed in terms of like this style of game. Rather, I'm
Yeah,
sure that
right, I
they've
feel
done
like-
other stuff.
Yeah, they must have some, at least as players, they seem to really understand what makes it tick and what makes it interesting. So
Yeah, no, and you can definitely tell like this I don't know when this game was developed in terms of the influence of Slay the Spire, because the entire presentation of this game and the kind of way that it moves, basically, like all the different beats that it has, incredibly similar to Slay the Spire. So
yeah,
and like there's so many things that are the same in terms of like how the trinkets like all work and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, deck builders are deck builders, and they've been around, long before Slay the Spire, because a lot of times deck builders were in like board games and stuff like that. I believe Dominion, that's the kind of the big one, I believe. So it's not like these games don't exist, but like Slay the Spire was one of the first I think big ones on the radar in terms of like a video game that was a deck builder that was kind of like roguelike influenced as well. And so this is one of those, but this is a very good one of those.
Yeah.
And I appreciate what they did. And, even though it took us like 2 hours to not even finish a run here, like I do appreciate, if we go into the run history, I do appreciate like, and I can't see it here, but if I go into any of these, like, it doesn't take an incredibly long time to get through a run if you're just kind of going at it, basically.
yeah,
And I like that because it gives me a stopping point. I don't feel like I'm like locked in for a super long time. Like I can get in, I could get a run done, and they'd be like, "All right, cool. I think I'm good now." And then I'll still want to like do another run though later on. So yeah, I think that's something that's sometimes overlooked with a lot of games, is like stopping points and like ideal time, like for a player to feel satisfied on, yep, this is when I'm going to stop. I feel like I've done enough. I do want to come back, but like this is a logical place to stop. I think that's like severely underrated.
awesome.
But yeah, so Paul, what do you think about Monster Train?
Yeah, it's really cool. I'm kind of interested to check it out again. I saw that when you were kind of browsing through your run history, like there were some names of your friends on there. Is there any sort of multiplayer component to this?
So there's a couple of things. So there is multiplayer. I don't 100% know how this works. So I believe and if anybody's watching this, please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. They have a daily challenge, which is a randomizer seed, basically. And so you can get up to on a leaderboard and all that good stuff. You can make your own custom challenge, which allows you to, and I'll show you guys here. I haven't done one of these, but you can be like, you have to use this clan and this one. And you get these things called mutators, which, it can make things easier and make things a little bit more difficult for people. So you can have these interesting things like, I could put like 5 dead weights into the starting deck, which just adds unplayable cards, and I can add like a whole bunch of garbage here if I wanted to. And also set a covenant, which is extra little things. Hell Rush, I don't know what this is. Maybe I haven't hit there yet, but anyway. So you could and I could also randomize this completely if I wanted to. And I can submit this challenge. Sure, that's fine. Nice, I got an achievement. Oh, you can't see that on the stream, but I can see it on my So I have this now, and now you can actually make a leaderboard for this little challenge.
Okay.
You can have a deep link. I can clone it to do something else. I can submit it to my friends. Trust me, I do have friends. They're just not here. But yeah, the other one that I'm not 100% sure how it works is this Hell Rush, which I believe it is. Oh, it just matchmaked me. I'm sorry if I just leave on somebody. I thought nope, we're not doing this. Okay, nope. Sorry, see ya. I'm pretty sure this has to do. Oh, this is cool. Oh, cute. Anyway,
like a race, you think?
Yeah, it's a race. I don't know if it's like time based. Oh, please. I don't want. Yes, please. I don't want people to join and have people be disappointed that I.
Yeah, we'd have had to stay on stream for another
No,
2
Jesus.
hours.
Because I would feel bad if I had left. But anyway, yeah. So there is like a multiplayer-ish component to this. I mean, it's not like super interactive necessarily, but it could be fun. It's fun just like playing the same strategy game with your friends, and like especially since like it's a randomized seed, everyone's going to be experiencing the same encounters basically. So you can like see like if people, depending on what a person's build is, they might have an easier time at one point, so they might be ahead technically in like points or stuff like that, or they might have a more difficult time later on. So you can have that back and forth. But generally it's kind of like hands-off-ish. But again, correct me if I'm wrong. I've never actually done that mode, but I do appreciate the ability to like make custom challenges, and you can see some really ridiculous stuff by stacking stuff in different ways. So
Yeah, like maybe there's something we can steal there for Steam Hounds in terms of like challenges. That's an interesting thing we haven't really explored.
Oh man. Well, I mean, when we're doing this stuff, it'd probably be good to have like, I don't know, those kind of tools to get ourselves into certain situations. In terms of like testing.
Yeah, what I really thought would be nice, even as just a debugging thing, is what if you could be watching a battle and say, hey, I want to like copy and paste, duplicate this battle and jump in at this point.
Assume direct control.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that would be cool. I think that would be cool, like in terms of like daily challenges. Like you can get someone into like a kind of like a puzzle, basically, where it's like you're gonna have to make some very specific decisions in order to get out of a certain
like
strait.
those chess puzzles kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can't remember what they're called. Darn. Maybe they're just called chess puzzles, to be honest. I thought they had a specific
they're like
name,
end game puzzles or like checkmate.
Okay.
Puzzles. Have you noticed that chess has become massive on Twitch now? This is
something happened. I saw a Hearthstone. Like I follow a couple of like Hearthstone people on YouTube, and then I'm just like, why is this person playing chess? Like why? Like what's happening? So I don't know what the deal is. I'm like, not that that's a bad thing. I think that's cool, but yeah, just bizarre. I mean, because there was like quote auto chess not too long ago, which has nothing to do with chess, but now I'm seeing like actual chess pop up on stuff. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. But yeah, anyway, yeah, this was a cool stream. I might have to try to figure out a better widget so people can tell which one of y'all is talking at a certain time. But it's
we'll figure something out. It went pretty well for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad. I don't think it did very terrible. So, but yeah, so yeah, that was that's Monster Train, and yeah, I had a good time, and yeah, I'll talk to you guys later.